What is blasphemy of the Holy Spirit? And I've heard, and I sent this in because I've heard people ask this a lot of times, and people kind of get stuck because they read what Jesus said about it not being forgiven of men,
Right.
and they're running around with this cloud overhead head and said, like, did I do this, and am I
Right.
not going to be able to be forgiven?
Yes.
And so I wanted an opportunity for that to be cleared
Word.
up. What is blasphemy of the Holy Spirit?
Absolutely. You know, it's interesting because you bring that up. There was actually a trend back in 2006, 2007, and people were breaking into churches, and this was an antagonistic thing, and going into sanctuaries and videotaping themselves, uploading to YouTube, going, "I commit the sin of blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. Haha, you Christians," and walking out as if that's the blessing of the Holy Spirit.
Right.
Side note, interesting note, they were breaking into a local church here doing it.
Wow.
It was I don't want to say the name. They've changed their name since then, but it's a pretty big church here locally that we're actually connected with.
Wow.
That they were doing that at, but that's not blasphemy of the Spirit. You saying those words is not it.
Yeah, it's not a contract that you sign. Okay,
exactly. Ursula's not over there. I have your voice. That's not what's happening.
It's not a club that you join. Okay, you don't join the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit club. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the best way for us to look at it is to look at where the vocabulary comes from. This comes from Matthew chapter 12, verses 22 through 32. We're not going to read it today, but Jesus is presented with a man who's oppressed by the demonic. After healing the man, the religious leaders accuse Jesus of healing the man via demonic powers. And Jesus challenges the leaders to think through the words very carefully. He's like, "You sure about that, bud?
Think about
Are
what
sure
you
about
just
that?"
said.
The suggestion in the passage here is that these men, these Pharisees, these religious leaders, knew very well that what Jesus was doing could only be done through the power of God himself. But they were still calling it demonic. So, if this is the case, then a common belief is that blasphemy of the Holy Spirit is that it involves someone who absolutely knows something is godly, but still tries to claim it is the work of Satan.
Yep.
They are denying the power of God, knowing it is, in fact, the power of God. But this arises the next question that kind of leads into what you're asking is this a one-time event?
Right.
Many believe that this is not a moment of ignorance. This happens. There are people, we say dumb things. I have said dumb things.
Oh, absolutely.
I've been a Christian for now 25, almost 26 years. I have said things that were not right.
Yep.
And I've gone, "Oh, snap.
That was wrong."
And I've repented and I've had to change my view on things because that's how we grow. So the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, it's not a one-time moment of ignorance.
Right.
It's kind of a denying the power of God.
It becomes a posture of the heart.
Yeah, until death.
Yeah.
Until the moment of death, that's the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit.
Because you're in a place where you're so shrouded that you can obviously look at God moving directly in front of you, and not just say that it's not God, but they said it was actually Satan.
Right.
So you're in the condition, the position of your heart is so darkened that that's where you are.
Exactly. So that's the hard thing right there. So